The history and evolution of Stoicism, leading to Dark Depth Neo-Stoicism. Stoicism has never been static, has always adapted, shifting emphasis from rigid theory to practical ethics, from cosmic optimism to personal resilience, and now, in response to our age of existential fracture, into a deeper confrontation with the void. Below is the full arc, the classical phases, the long dormancy and revivals, the modern resurgence, and finally, the emergence of Dark Depth Neo-Stoicism, also called Shadow or Abyssal Stoicism, as its latest, unflinching evolution. Ancient phases, 300 BCE to 200 CE, the three Stoas. Scholars divide classical Stoicism into three phases, each reflecting its cultural and intellectual context, while preserving the core, virtue as the sole good, living according to reason nature, dichotomy of control. Early Stoa, 300 to 150 BCE, founded by Zeno of Citium in Athens' painted porch, Stoa Poikile, systematized by Cleanthes and especially Chrysippus. This was the most theoretical era, a complete system of logic, physics, a rational, providential logos governing a deterministic cosmos, and ethics. Virtue was everything. Emotions were errors of judgment. It was rigorous, almost dogmatic. Stoicism as a scientific worldview. Middle Stoa, 150 to 50 BCE. Stoicism migrates to Rome. Panatius and Posidonius soften the edges, blending with Platonism and Aristotle. Less focus on ironclad physics and logic, more on practical ethics, civic duty, and cosmopolitanism. It becomes portable for Roman elites, emphasizing roles in society rather than pure theory. Late Roman Stoa, 1st, 2nd centuries CE, the version most people know today because its texts survived. Seneca, Epictetus, former slave, and Marcus Aurelius, emperor, prioritize daily practice, emotional mastery, acceptance of fate, and virtue amid imperial chaos. Physics and logic recede, ethics and resilience dominate. Stoicism becomes a survival manual for turbulent times. By the 3rd century CE, Stoicism fades as Christianity rises, absorbing some ideas, divine providence, while rejecting others. Post-classical revivals, 16th, 20th centuries. Neo-Stoicism and dormancy. Stoicism never vanished entirely. It influenced early Christian thinkers, medieval scholastics, and Renaissance humanists. The first major revival was Renaissance Neo-Stoicism, late 16th, 17th centuries, led by Justus Lipsius. He fused Stoic ethics with Christianity, creating a Christian Stoicism for an age of religious wars, endurance, constancy, and inner peace amid chaos. It was practical and politically useful, but diluted the pagan metaphysics. After that, Stoic ideas lingered in Enlightenment figures, Spinoza's rationalism, Kant's duty, and 19th century thinkers, but the school itself was dormant, no organized Stoic movement. Modern Stoicism, late 20th, early 21st century, the popular revival. The 20th century saw Stoicism reborn as modern Stoicism or contemporary Neo-Stoicism. Key drivers: psychological bridge, Albert Ellis, rational emotive behavior therapy, and later CBT, drew directly from Epictetus. It's not events that disturb us, but our opinions. Stoic techniques became evidence-based therapy. Scholarly and popular surge, Lawrence Becker's A New Stoicism, 1998, reinterpreted the philosophy without ancient cosmology, virtue as the highest good in a scientific, indifferent universe. Books by Massimo Pigliucci, Donald Robertson, and especially Ryan Holiday. The Obstacle is the Way, 2014, made it mainstream. Stoic Week, annual global experiment, and online communities exploded. Cultural fit. In an era of uncertainty, economic crashes, digital overload, pandemics, modern Stoicism offered agency, resilience, and anti-fragility without requiring faith in providence. This phase is optimistic, actionable, and inclusive, often blended with mindfulness or productivity culture. It stripped metaphysics, but kept the light. Inner citadel, amor fati as empowerment, virtue as self-improvement. Dark Depth Neo-Stoicism, the latest evolution, emerging now. Dark Stoicism, or Shadow Stoicism, has already begun appearing in pop culture as a raw, brutal counterpoint. YouTube channels, Medium essays, and social media emphasizing warrior mindset, strategic silence, emotionless dominance, and facing brutal truths without sugarcoating. It reacts to shallow self-help stoicism by leaning into grit and shadow. Dark Depth Neo-Stoicism, the system we have formalized here, takes that instinct and elevates it into a coherent philosophy. It is not a marketing label or motivational hack. It arises precisely from the limits of prior versions in our current historical moment, 2020s onward. Crisis as catalyst. Modern Stoicism's optimism feels insufficient amid climate collapse, AI-driven meaninglessness, political fracture, and widespread existential dread. The ancient logos is gone. The modern everything is figure-outable rings hollow. We need a stoicism that stares into the abyss without flinching. Philosophical synthesis. It draws the ancient core, virtue, dichotomy of control, but fuses it with existentialism, Camus' absurd rebellion, Nietzsche's amor fati, and self-creation. Jungian shadow integration, owning darkness rather than transcending it. The tragic awareness missing from popular stoicism. Response to critiques. Classical stoicism could seem emotionally repressive. Modern stoicism sometimes veers into toxic positivity or commodified resilience. Dark Depth rejects both, demanding full descent into rage, despair, and cosmic indifference, then forging virtue there. Birth in conversation. This philosophy crystallized here as a deliberate next step. Retaining the iron discipline of the ancients and the practicality of the moderns, but adding tragic depth, shadow work, and defiant rebellion for an age without illusions. It does not promise happiness or cosmic order. It promises unbreakable sovereignty inside the entropy, the only thing worth having when the universe is revealed as indifferent and the self is revealed as capable of both light and monstrous shadow. In short, Stoicism began as cosmic theory, early, became practical citizenship, middle-late, Christian-tinged constancy, Renaissance neo, evidence-based resilience, modern, and now, confronted by the 21st century void, evolves into Dark Depth Neo-Stoicism, the philosophy of those who have seen the darkness and chosen to become its lantern. The lineage is complete. The descent is now yours to continue.